Sure, why not? That's the well-dressed Todd Stevens to you,
Yeah.
by the way.
I like the Deftone shirt in the background, too, on the rail.
Hey.
I own that shirt.
Do you actually?
I do.
Nice.
I'm not wearing it right now, though.
Noted. Noted. Here's a Monastery Swift Spear off of a Sacred Foundry. Get that die out there.
It was a Tormagoyf die.
That's a Monastery Swift Spear die.
I love it. A little
Yep.
ingenuity.
Yeah, gotta get in here for one. Gotta let you know how much I'm attacking for. Back to David Houghton, we're gonna go. Curious about how his burn matchup is. He's gonna start with an allied encampment into a 1-2 of his own. It'll be a Houghton free play.
Well, I think the jig is up.
Oh, you think he's giving away what he's playing?
Yeah.
It could be a slight splash.
To be fair, both players probably at this point.
Sure. So we saw in our match earlier with David Houghton when he played it against Jeskai, he was able to just easily go through a bunch of removal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Like it was that he had a young Pyromancer, did his opponent David Thomas going the entire game, and Houghton was easily able to work through all of that stuff. Now Swissper's going to come into the red zone again. Stevens is going to search up a stomping ground off of that wooded foothill, so it'll take some more damage. And I think we might have a Searing Blaze on the way. We'll find out here in just a moment. Could be a Tarkus command, could be a bevy of things. Looks like it's going to be a Tarkus command. So a little pump, a little ding.
So only 5 damage total from the Satarkus command. So kind of on the low end from what we've seen today.
I'm inclined to agree. Not a very good card, pretty weak. Head back David Houghton's way. He's at 13, he's going to his second turn of the game. Does have a Temple Garden in hand. There's a Kabira Evangel. Now this Allies deck does have ways to gain life, since there's another copy of Alley Encampment. There's the Blade Whirl. We saw this be really good in the Jeskai matchup.
Yeah. First strike, not super relevant here. Not a ton of blocking going on. But Grizzly Bear, perfectly serviceable.
Yeah, and it does pump up the Houghton Free Blade into a 2-3, which allowed attack for 2. Now Stevens is also down to 13, as he's dealt himself quite a bit of damage. There's a mountain. We'll see what's next here for Todd.
Well, it doesn't look like he can kill this turn, but it seems like he has a pretty easy kill on the following turn.
It'll be another copy of a Tarkus command. It's another big chunk of life. We might have another spell here too. Yeah, it's gonna be a lightning bolt. Yeah, you said he might be able to kill next turn. I think it's a lock because he's got a Boros Charm in hand. The trick here is not to die or don't have Houghton gain life.
Yeah, no Lantern Scout is basically what he's hoping for.
Pretty much. Didn't get a great look at the draw step. He's gonna sacrifice this Windswept Heath pretty quickly though. Gotta get a basic plane. So does he have Lantern Scout this turn? It's a 2 of in his deck. If he has it here, it might just be a game winner. 3 mana?
I think so.
Yeah, it is a Lantern Scout. How about that?
So there's 5.
Yep. Gonna give his creatures lifelink. He's gonna get some life back here. Stevens will draw. Now Stevens can still win this turn. Searing Blaze is ideal. It's gonna be a Goblin Guide, however.
Yeah, so now he's a point short. And since he was 2 points over, or he was 1 point over on the last turn, so maybe he didn't need to use the Tarkus command main phase. Maybe if he just held that for the can't gain life ability on it.
Well, what's notable here is if there are no blocks here from Houghton, Stevens will kill him. He's got Boros Charm in hand.
It is true.
Yeah. Now, the reveal is a Calm Battle Singer.
Which is lethal on the crackback, so... I mean, David, at this point, might be just more interested in blocking because neither player is really going to get an extra turn.
It appears he's very interested in blocking as he's going to grab the Lantern Scout and put it in front of a Swift Spear.
So this can be kind of disastrous if he does have a removal spell for the Blade Whirl, and then David no longer has lethal.
He's got a lot to think about now, how he wants to go about blocking here.
It's like, well, if I block and you have a Tarkus command, then I'm not dead. If you have 2 bolts, I'm dead no matter what.
Yep. So you can just knock 2 bolts out of the equation. Looks like he's going to jump in front of Goblin Guide.
And Boros Charm is still a point short.
Yep.
Todd Stevens perhaps not expecting the Lantern Scout.
No.
They never see it coming, Cedric.
They really don't. The Lantern Scout or the Allies deck. I think Stevens is just going to have to say damage is going to resolve here, because Boros Charming is not going to do very much. So, Guide will trade with Lantern Scout. Now, here's the thing. If you're David Houghton, I'm playing around basically nothing. Because if my opponent had a removal spell, he probably would have killed my Lantern Scout and then killed me.
Maybe. I mean, he might not have had 7 points, right?
Sure.
So it's possible he just has a removal spell. But if he has a removal spell, like, what are you doing? Do you really want to give the burn deck another draw step?
It's an Akawum Battle Singer.
Your favorite.
It's strong. I'm a fan. I'm in the club. And now here's another Houghton Free Blade.
Yeah, another ally just makes it really easy.
Yep. That's so much damage. Double first strike. In we go.
The Free Blade plus another creature is lethal.
Yep.
And it's very unlikely that the burn deck can take out the Houghton Free Blade. So
David Houghton going to win game number 1 here over Todd Stevens. Allies up a game here over Burn. Stevens came up 1 point short as he goes to the sideboard, and we're going to go that direction as well. We will start with Todd Stevens in his Path to Exile. Rest in peace. Searing Blood, 2 copies of Rending Volley, 3 Core Firewalkers, 3 Molten Rains, and 4 copies of Destructive Revelry.
So Rending Volley is pretty obviously a thing if the burn deck is interested in just killing the creatures. I'm not sure if that is what Todd Stevens wants to be doing, though. Past that, I think Searing Blood is definitely a card that you want, something that kills a creature and deals them damage. And then Path to Exile kind of feels like another Rending Volley to me. I think you just want this Searing Blood, and that might just be it.
On David Houghton's side, he's got 3 Paths of his own, 2 Kataki War Wage, 2 Return to the Ranks, a Stony Silence Choke, a Chameleon Colossus, a Fire Mantle Mage, then 2 Spell Skites, and 2 Ondu Cleric.
Love the Ondu Cleric.
Yeah, most people don't even know what Ondu Cleric is.
1 dub, 1/1.
Yes?
Whenever an ally enters the battlefield under your control,
Yes.
gain life equal to the number of allies?
Correct.
Or is it creatures?
Number of allies.
Okay.
Only checks allies.
Beautiful.
Very well done, Jerry.
And then maybe some paths to kill the early creatures. Take out Goblin Guide, Swift Spear, maybe Eidolon.
Any reason for Spell Skite here?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Is the thing, like, the fact that random things like Spell Scud are just hanging out in everyone's sideboard, is that reason enough to just bring in a couple Destructive Revelries in the dark? Like, what if the ally deck just has, like, Leyline of Sanctity in its sideboard?
I'm just dead, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not going to hedge against Leyline from this deck because I've seen Lantern Scout, and because of all my ally knowledge,
Yeah.
I know that Ondu Cleric is a card too, so I imagine they're going to go towards the ally-based life gain instead of Leyline. Now, for what it's worth, if that's my thinking and they go to Leyline, then they got me.
Yeah, sure.
You know, then they tricked me and then I lose. But I would be okay losing that way. Instead of like having a Revelry and then drawing it and then just having me dead in my hand.
Well, if you're familiar with Modern at all and you know that these decks have Cavern of Souls and Ally Encampment, you got to imagine that they're also playing Aether Vial. So it's not like your Revelry is necessarily dead entirely.
That's
right?
very true.
You might have a thing to actually tag with it.
That's very true. I forgot about Vial being in the decks, and you can definitely kill that with Revelry. But is it worth bringing in 1 copy, 2 copy? You're not going to bring in all 4.
No.
That's way too many. But will you bring in a couple? Potentially. And I suppose we'll find out once Stevens does present and takes a look at his opening hand. Perhaps we'll get a look at his deck with a fetch land or something of that nature. But while these players do shuffle up here for game numero dos, we are going to talk about the innovator, the Hall of Famer, the Pro Tour champion, the 2-time Worlds runner-up. It's Patrick Chapin. It's the Next Level Library, Next Level Magic, and Next Level Deck Building for all skill levels. Available in paperback and ebook. And, of course, available now at StarCityGames.com/nextlevel. Do you have any copies of these books?
I do.
Very nice.
I was reading Next Level Deck Building during the Open in Portland. And that book is heavy. It is sizable. It is not something to just like lug around in your purse. In my case, it was the messenger bag,
Yes.
the man purse,
The Merce.
Right,
yes.
there you go. And it's like, man, that's heavy. That's like 3 decks.
It's a I like that you equate things. I like that you equate things to how many decks they weigh.
So the Merce with a deck in it is not that heavy. But once you get like a box full of cards, it's pretty heavy. It's like one copy of Next Level Deck Building.
You have your own weight system. Yes. It's 3 decks. So how many notebooks is that? How many notebooks is Next Level Deck Building?
It was like 10.
It's like 10 notebooks.
No, the book is just very high quality.
It is very, very good. No surprise there from Patrick Chapin. How to free blade off of Cavern Souls is where David Houghton's going to start. You saw Todd Stevens start from the Monastery of Swisspear. Very reminiscent of game number 1 is how game number 2 does begin. For Stevens, he does have a second land to play. He's just deciding which one it's going to be. It looks like it's a Bloodstained Mire and something else he's deciding between.
Yeah, he fetched out a basic mountain to start, so that can kind of give you some information on the rest of his hand. Either he only needs stuff of one color, or he already has other dual lanes in his hand, perhaps more fetch lands.
Yep. This is a Goblin Guide. I love the double attack. Stomping Ground is the reveal.
You don't block on the Swisspear here?
Oh, I would have blocked.
Yeah.
I would've
No fear for the mutagenic growth?
No, I would have snapped him off.
I assume if it was a gut shot, it would have just taken out the Houghton free blade.
Yeah, with the trigger on the stack.
Right.
Sure. It looks like he's going to, yeah, there you go. Not going to sneak in a point of damage on me. I ain't no punk. Blocking every time. The Todd Anderson School of Magic.
Really? Todd is the person you went to with that.
He blocks, dude. Todd blocks. Todd, you do not sneak points of damage against Todd. He will snap you off.
That's good to know. Okay, so fetch up another basic mountain. That's also kind of telling.
That is notable with the deck that does have a Tarkus Command and Boros Charm in it.
I mean, it is possible that he sided out all of his white cards, right? Like maybe he just cut the Boros Charms.
Okay, all right. Because Boros Charm doesn't really interact very much.
Yeah, it is just 2 mana, 4 damage. Maybe you're looking for something better, or maybe that's the card that you cut for just more interaction.
He does have Sacred Founder in hand right now, too.
Okay.
For what it's worth. And another copy of Wooded Foothills.
Yeah, so he has access to all 3 of his colors.
Okay. Windswept Teeth here from Houghton. He's going to sacrifice that. And there is a basic forest. We'll see what's next here for David. Perhaps an Oran Reef Survivalist is on the way. I love allies. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
2-2, free blade up and do a 2-3.
If you play allies, do not leave home without your dice.
True. I was that guy when I played allies.
Yeah, hey, you got any dice I can borrow?
Yeah.
What do you need, 1? No, like 6.
Yeah, I need as many as you have, actually. Rift Bolt's coming off. Free blade down.
Yeah, I like just clearing the way here. Trying to, Todd is kind of flooded a little bit. He has 4 land, which is a lot for the burn deck, and I think he needs to rely on his creatures to deal the bulk of the damage this game.
Searing Blaze.
That's probably the best card in the matchup.
Yeah. And now Swisspear, is going to come across for 3. Because Rift Bolt also came off suspend this turn. Now Goblin Guy going to reveal Windswept Heath.
Yes.
And Stevens' last 2 cards in hand, Sacred Foundry and a Tarkus Command.
That's not a bad 2.
No. Ondu Cleric, the draw here for Houghton.
That's good. It's not great when your opponent's killing all your creatures, unfortunately.
You got to kill him. You saw Lantern Scout the last game, so you don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, definitely.
And Ondu Cleric does basically the same thing. So we'll see how Houghton wants to kind of sequence his spells this turn.
Yeah, if you just let the ally deck run wild, some crazy stuff is going to happen.
Yep. It's a critical mass deck. They want to have as many allies on the battlefield as possible, kind of like Goblins does in Merfolk and stuff like that. Really just most tribal decks.
Slivers.
Yeah.
It's an important one. Can't leave that out.
You a Slivers fan?
Well, no, it's just like the tribal deck that popped up the most recently in Modern.
That's true. That's true when you were in Cincinnati. Basic Plains here from Houghton. He's down to 7. It looks like it is Ondu Cleric time. Trigger gain a life.
So not super impressive for a sideboard card.
It can be good. It's just not great right now. Now, if that thing can stay on the battlefield for a little while, you're gaining way too much life. I think there might be a free blade to follow up. That's just going to be a vial.
Yep. Just an Aether Vial. If he gets an untap, though, and gets to play out 2 allies, trigger Ondu Cleric twice, gain 2 and 3 life.
Yep.
I mean, I just don't think he's necessarily going to make it through this turn with the Atarkus Command looming. If Ondu Cleric is relegated to chump block duty, that's certainly no fun.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, because Stevens has the Tarkus Command in hand, I think very clearly he's going to draw his card and, attack. whatever.
Yeah.
I'm curious if Houghton is just going to kind of cross his fingers and hope he's not dead.
Well, there's another Goblin Guide.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll cast a spell pre-combat.
Yep. There's Goblin Guide. Here come the beatdowns. 2 Goblin Guide triggers are on the stack.
And then it just doesn't even matter what David does at this point.
Nope. It will be all over. The Cohen Battle Singer was the reveal.
Yeah, I would be interested to see if the Goblin Guide did not come off the top, whether David would block or not. Because if he does block, sure, he doesn't die to a Tarkus command that turn. But if Todd has a Tarkus command, he's probably going to win the game anyway.
Yeah.
So is David more likely to win or lose the game if he blocks? I think he's more likely to win if he just does not block, keeps his Ondu Cleric, and the game proceeds from there. And now the decision is much less interesting because whether he blocks or not, he's dead to a Tarkus command, so.
Yeah, well, he's going to do a little math here before blocking, hope he's not dead, and now Todd will show him a Tarkus command, +1/+1, and you take 3. And with prowess from Swift Spear, that'll be more than enough to get the job done. So, Todd Stevens going to win game number 2 here against David Houghton. Burn and Allies getting ready for game number 3.
So Allies being on the play seems like a pretty big deal.
Yes.
You know, the bigger you get to make your Hada Free Blades and your Oran Resurvivalist, maybe get them out of Searing Blood, Searing Blaze range. It seems pretty important for this matchup.
I would be absolutely thrilled about being on the play right now. And Houghton looks like he's going back to the sideboard right away. See if his configuration is something he's happy with. But appears he is pleased enough with what he's got. Todd Stevens also going to go back to the board. It is notable that, you noticed that Todd was not searching for non-basics there. Maybe he has boarded out those white cards.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he did have the Sacred Foundry in his hand, but David did not know that.
Yeah.
He never had to play it.
He was aggressively searching up just basic planes. So we'll see if that's something that happens in the next games. Maybe yes, maybe no. But in the meantime, we are going to talk about the Fall Creature Collection here with Star City Games. The popular line of products that include the hippo, the otter, the reindeer, and of course, Pengulian Click on playmat sleeves and player bundles. That's the fall collection. That's going to take us through the end of the year, and then at the beginning of next year, 2016, somehow it's almost already here. We'll have our winter collection. You guys can look forward to that. StarCityGames.com/creature collection for more information about these playmat sleeves and bundles. Again, the hippo, the otter, the reindeer, and Pengulian Click.
What is it? What's the new one? Just tell me.
No.
I won't tell anyone, I swear.
Stop it. Don't do this.
Thought we were friends,
It's
man.
a dinosaur.
A
There.
dinosaur.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Beautiful animal dinosaur. There. It's Alpha Tyrannex. It's ready to attack. 6/5 for 6. It's Fangren Hunter, my favorite green creature.
Card is awesome.
Put it in your deck.
If you see it, take it, put it in your deck.
I actually just took that advice to heart.
Yeah.
So, never pass.
I remember Grand Prix Columbus.
Well, that's every tournament that you remember all for the wrong reasons.
Well, I started 10-0 in that tournament.
Yeah,
so.
and you didn't top it. It's all for the wrong reasons.
Well, I got a match loss. They're a little more strict back then about deck reg errors.
they're still pretty strict about it.
Dude, straight match loss.
Oh, I didn't know it was a straight match loss.
Yeah.
Then? Oh, ugh.
Yeah, they didn't mess around.
That was a little much.
I mean, granted, it's my fault, but it was still, wow.
I didn't know it was a straight match loss then. I forgot. And then you got Savage beatdown.
That is true. That was one of my winning ends. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my match loss was against Mike Turian. I don't know how well you know Mike, but...
You're talking about me or the audience?
You.
Of course I know Mike.
Okay, I said I don't know how well you know Mike.
Oh, yeah. No, I know Mike really well.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know you worked with him at R&D and stuff, so you probably know him better than I do. But
No, he was working on Magic Online stuff.
okay.
So interacted with him very little, but just super nice guy. You know, sat down, I got the match lost, and he's just like, oh, you know, that kind of stinks for you. Want to grab lunch? I was like, yeah, sure. Just like had never met him before. But he's just like, hey, random guy, want to just have lunch with me? I was like, yeah.
Mike Turian is a big part of the reason I play competitive Magic.
Okay, I might have heard this before. What's the deal?
At Origins, I played against him in when I was 14 or 15 or something. I played against him with just some brew I had or whatever, and I was starting to kind of understand how to play Magic, and I beat him, and I knew that he was Mike Turian or whatever, and after I beat him, he was just like, hey, you played really well, you should play Magic more.
Okay.
And he was just super nice the entire time when he was like mana screwed. I was just flame tongue comboing all his crap or whatever. I was like, thanks, man. That's really nice of you. And then I beat him and I ran to my friends. Like, I just beat my turn. Oh, my God. He was super nice to me. Here comes Goblin Guy. So, yeah, he's actually one of the reasons I play competitive Magic.
Do you think Mike knows that?
Yeah, I've told him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cavernous Souls is how things started here for David Houghton.
Player David Cordero.
That's a windswept heath.
Please come to the main event stage.
Down to 19 goes David Houghton.
Cordero. If you are in the
So another fetch of a basic mountain. So kind of interesting.
It's notable.
Yeah.
It's notable.
I mean, it's one of those things where maybe there's not a lot you can do with that information because, you know, the game is over by turn 4 one way or the other probably in this matchup.
Sure. 2 aggressive decks just slogging it out. Houghton's thinking basic planes, but he's not too sure. All right, he's going to go with basic planes. Now, Vial's on 1. That means how to free blade and a couple other cards.
Yeah, I think this is where you want to be against the burn deck. You just have the capability to explode. You know, just like put a bunch of permanents in play. Burn doesn't have the mana or necessarily the resources to take care of all that stuff. Just go from there.
2 mana, maybe. Looks like he might lead out with free blade. Yep. That'll be a 1/2. Looks like he's got a handful of free blades.
Might be 3 of them.
Yeah. And so I think he's going to play the other one, make a 2/3. I'm a little. So he's got to do a weird balancing act because he's got 1 free blade. He also has Undo Cleric in hand.
Yeah, so I think he just wants to save the ally to get the other Undo Cleric trigger.
Yeah. Land number 2 for Todd Stevens is a Bloodstained Mire. He'll sacrifice that, fall down to 18. We'll see what land he wants to search up. It's been mountains recently.
Well, now it's the stomping ground.
All right.
So,
Now, one thing we don't know is if maybe he has Destructive Revelry in his deck after sideboard. He has 4 of those in there. Kind of speculate on the fact he might bring some in.
seems a little worse on the draw, especially since you saw Lantern Scout in game 1 and Undo Cleric in game 2. So you know that he has some life gain stuff that is just tied up in the ally theme.
Sure.
Right? So then how much other stuff can he have? Do you think he has ley lines and spell skites and all this stuff? Probably not. And if he does, maybe not a lot of it.
Yeah, how badly do you want to destroy stuff like Leyline and other options like that? And how badly does David Houghton actually want to be like Burn? Has he gone over the top with all this hate?
That is entirely possible. Some people just really don't like losing to certain decks.
How to Free Blade coming in through the vial. This could be a really nice turn here for David. He'll get to untap. He's at 12, but it looks like he's going to be gaining some life this turn. Vial might be going up, and it is up to 2.
So Goblin Guide has given David 2 extra lands, and with his land from the draw step, he has 1 land left over. So it looked like he kept a 1 land or 2.
Fortunate reveals from the Goblin Guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now he just wants to figure out how he wants to sequence this. Do I want to lead off with the Free Blade so the Free Blades will get bigger? Do I want to cast one of these Undo Clerics? You can see he's pretty unsure of himself.
Yeah, I think at this point I might want bigger Free Blades, but it's close, you know?
Well, he's gonna Violent Undo Cleric. Free Blade will trigger, so will Undo Cleric, so he's gonna gain 2 life up to 14. Next up, looks like it's another Free Blade. So this will enter the battlefield. It'll get a counter. Other How to Free Blade will get a counter, and now Undo Cleric will trigger. You gain 3 life.
Now you have a 3/4 blocker, a Vial going up to 3 next turn that can put the Evangel into play.
And a 4th land for Collected Company.
Yeah, so I think next turn, like this turn was good, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I think next turn is going to be busted.
Yeah. Stomping around the draw here for Stevens. And heaven forbid, you find another Undo Cleric or Lantern Scout off the Collected Company.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just over. Stomping around's going to come in onto the battlefield untapped. Searing Blaze. Take that, Undo Cleric. Down to 14 goes Houghton.
It's kind of like a break even. Houghton's still up 2 life on the exchange.
Yep. However, these Goblin Guides are now on defense. That's not where they want to be.
No. I mean, 3-4 is just too tough to get through. So no more Undo Cleric. So no more extra life gain necessarily.
Looks like Alley Encampment was the draw. And now a Collected Company. So
We
gonna take a
were
look at the
4
top
for
6.
4 on Collected Company hits.
Yeah, Collected Company has not been shy. And it's not going to be shy here either. Oh my, this game is over.
Is that 6 creatures?
Well, it is 6 creatures, and I believe one of them is a Lantern Scout and one of them is Undo Cleric, so this game is over. And you saw David reveal it, and Todd got to look at it. So this one is probably over.
Yeah, like you even have the option of taking a Spell Scud. Maybe you want the Battle Singer.
Yeah.
You know, how much life do you want to gain this turn versus, you know, what kind of clock do you want to put on the
I
burn
think
deck?
he's going to take the Battle Singer.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Because now he also gets the Violin Evangel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This might just be lethal then.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said that a lot
Yeah,
watching this deck play.
With the Battle Singer involved, it seems like it always is lethal. Keep in mind, those Free Blades are also going to get 2 counters. And it's time for beatdowns.
You could put the Evangel into play, pro red.
Yeah,
and
before
that's,
blocks.
That's got to be good, but
I just want to kill him. All these creatures do have lifelink.
so it's 14 right now.
Yeah, and he's going to
then-
do this. He's going to do this before blocks.
Yeah, 14 lifelink, unblockable, you're dead.
Another Battle Singer trigger. Pro red. 2 more triggers. No blocks allowed, probably. As long as he did it, as long as he did pre-blocks, Evangel will come in and give everything pro red. There will be no blocks allowed.
I mean, to be fair, even if he didn't, you know, like,
Yeah,
what's the
it's
worst
still-
going to happen? You're at 30.
Yeah, still dead. Still dead.
Oh, hold on. Let me move my Houghton Free Blades up.
Hey. Don't miss your triggers. It's important to
Yeah.
have good sequencing, and that is going to do it. David Houghton's going to win this match over Todd Stevens, 2-1. Allies taking down Burn. Allies is 7-1 here in Dallas.
What did he lose to?
That's a really good question, actually.
So we were talking a little bit about how he seemed pretty light on anti-burn stuff, just the 2 Lantern Scouts, the 2 Undo Clerics, and the Spell Scouts kind of count too.
Yeah, sort of.
But it really didn't seem that tough. Like, Houghton Free Blade gets very big very quickly. Battle Singer presents a very real clock, and his deck just has a pretty natural turn 4 kill, it looks like.
So this is bad news now because I'm playing Grand Prix Pittsburgh a couple of weeks from now.
And you're playing Allies?
Thinking about it.
Well, you know, talk to David here. Maybe get some advice. Always have Ari Lax.
Yeah, I'm liking a lot that's going on here, man. Like, Houghton Free Blade grows really fast. You got Vial. I don't know if you're the best Vial deck because Merfolk's a really good Vial deck, but you're a really good Vial deck. You're a really good Collected Company deck.